Welcome back to the channel. Time for the next war, War 6 of Season 22. The season is heating up and we are moving our way up the Masters rankings. Things are going very well. The whole alliance is playing exceptionally. We've got 4 fights for you. The first one is against a Mojo, followed up by Iron Man Infinity War. Then a pretty cool fight here, one I haven't taken before, against Black Widow Deadly Origin. And then this Venom versus Spider-Gwen on Mini Boss Island. All right, we've had a little bit of break, but it's time to get back. Let's get to the show. All right, so this first fight here was going to be against a Mojo. I did go ahead and remove dexterity for it. You know, the last war video you saw from me, I had a bit of a tough moment. I had a loss and a death, and it did shake my confidence a little bit. Took some time, recalibrated, recollected, and came back and just owned the Sinister fight. Unfortunately, we had tied. And then I had a bit of a family emergency that I did have to take more or less 2 wars off. My BG completely covered me. They fought the first war with only 9 summoners. And I think they had 1 death or something ridiculous like that. And then I did participate a little bit in the second war. Had quite a few fights. Unfortunately, died against the boss. It was really, really frustrating. It ruined a deathless BG attack. But you know, I had felt good about it. I had just made a mistake and we did win that war. Unfortunately, a lot of my videos did not take. I was driving, and so it just is what it is, but ready to jump back into it. Confidence is feeling good. So one of the things I first want to point out to you is, I don't know if it was a mistake or not, but we did not see the stubborn defensive tactic. You can see there, this is protect. It has to do with large and extra large champions, and when the attacker deals more than 300% of their base attack. It actually took us a little bit to realize that they were not running this stubborn defense, which was cool. It was cool. I don't think this defense is nearly as difficult, at least not with the defense they had placed, which is why I think it may have been a mistake, why I think they may have intended to play stubborn. And then, you know, these things happen in the game. These things happen. So this fight itself is with this long distance relationship. When I'm too close, or staying close, will get that weakness debuff, and I can just move back forward. But the idea is going to be to let him hit into my block. Of course, I'd much rather take the SP1 than the SP2, and just let him hit into my block, build up my smolders, and just finish him off. Now, I'm going to be saving my pre-fight ability for a later fight. Mojo is one of the scarier defenders for me. I feel like if I don't have my Human Torch, I'm a little worried. I better at least have my Red Guardian. But we've got him here, so we used our heavy to increase our temperature. You see we're getting it up there, so just the parry heavy. And you can see how much damage has already been done. We're at 70% health for him. So I'm doing what I can here to bait the SP1. I'm really not that worried. If I push him to the SP2, that's fine. I will just block it. And you know, that'll increase my smolders as we talked about. But we're going in here, and I'm already feeling like we've pretty much won this fight. We're going to throw the SP2, it will stun him, and I was pretty sure that the Incinerates would just finish him off as they did, which is why I didn't rush in there. I figured the worst thing that would happen is that those Incinerates would not kill him, he'd come back in and attack me, and I could just finish him off. So moving on to this next fight against this Iron Man Infinity War with Rage. It's why they wanted me to have the pre-fight ability for this fight. Now, here's the thing. If you've been following me for a little bit, we did a stream about 3 weeks ago where I was learning to reparry. Somehow I've been a master's level player for a very long time, years, and I had not learned how to reparry. It just was something I struggled to do, and I finally sat down and said, like, I'm going to do this. Brought in quite a few top players, and we did like an hour-and-a-half stream. I didn't get it in the stream, but I put the phone down, went and about my business, got some work done. About an hour or 2 hours later, sat down, tried it out, and I got it. It just worked. It's not 100%, but I've got it. Now, I'm going to be using that in this fight. I'm going to use the pre-fight ability. Of course, it's going to work. I didn't even use an attack boost or even the green boost that has the added attack value because I did not want to trigger Rage. And you're going to see how there's going to be kind of a funny interaction here. You know, so much of this game is about muscle memory, and I am just used to letting him hit me, hit my block until he goes for his heavy. Fortunately, I did some duels, and I realized that attempting to reparry and then him throwing the heavy, it was going to create a slightly different interaction for me. So I realized my spacing was a little bit off. And you see here, I finally have landed the reparry, and I go straight into the heavy. I missed the reparry the first couple of times, so I could tell something was a little bit off, but I've landed the reparry again. I found that the timing of then getting to the heavy was different. I think it's just a little bit about muscle memory, like I said, but I found that trying to land the reparry, him going into the heavy, created different spacing. So that's why I really recommend doing the duels when you can go ahead and get them done. And then I've missed that. You saw me get parried. I'm not worried about this fight at all, because the worst case scenario, I just stopped trying to reparry. I know I'm going to win the fight. I'm not worried about it. But we've landed here, and then you see what I did? I went in with the basic attacks, even though he's getting under that barrier where he goes with the armor up and the auto block. I do get punished with the parry there and hit. The fight was never in doubt, but it's just something for me to get used to. I've been playing Iron Man Infinity War for years without the reparry, and now I've adjusted. So as we go into this fight, let's go ahead and scroll back. I like to talk about the nodes. A lot of people like to see them, and I was busy talking about the reparry there. It's just kind of interesting. I think a good reason to get your duels done. As you can see, this is a power focus 2, meaning she's going to be more quickly getting to her SP2. It does cover a lot of ground, and so I think that's the thought there. I did talk with Taters, I think it was, on this fight, and he gave me some really great advice, because when I fight her, I just used to, if she throws her SP1, I kind of just wait it out. Maybe I will parry her and buy some time. And Tater said, look, just parry her, do a single hit, and then you can go straight into your heavy, because you'll have the shock on her. And I think that's nice, because not only for the damage, but as you see here, we're staying on her side of the map. And part of the reason she's even placed here is that she potentially could move me on to my side of the map, cause some problems. She is going to be throwing her specials here. I chose just to block them. I wasn't going to be taking any other fights with Doom. She is still relatively new, so why get fancy if I don't need to? I love fighting with Doom. My 6-star Doom is on defense, so I've gotten used to not having him in war. I wish I had him in war, but I also love having that great defense. Now I'm going into the Doom cycle. There's really not much she can do about it. So she can be a bit of a tricky defender if you don't understand her mechanics with the passive evade there off of the SP1. But as you can see, if you're able to parry her, she's not too bad once you know her special timing and things like that. So I think she's going to go down right here off of the SP2. And we were having a great war. This was against Got-eem. They've been playing excellently lately. And so we really just wanted to keep that going. I think we were at like 1 or 2 deaths, something really low. And moving on to Mini Boss Island, it was pretty cool. This is one of the things I really like about for Loki. There's a lot of things, but one of the things I'm enjoying is the utilization of my roster. I'm taking Alliance War fights with Mysterio, and here we are using Venom. As we know, when he has that buff, Spider-Verse champions cannot evade. And so on this node, there's the plus evade chance, and if they evade, then they get I would get the fatigue debuff from Spry. Additionally, if with brute force for not landing hits in 6 seconds, we start to take a pretty good amount of damage there. I chose, there's also Limber on this node, which you will see here in a second as we scroll through. Because of Limber, I decided just to play this node as stun immune. And then if I had to parry for whatever reason, if I felt like we were moving too close to my side of the map, I would go ahead and utilize the parry and know that I could use it. Pretty funny that she could not evade, but you saw her dex out of my attack there, so I was, I think, a little bit slow. I do know how to evade this SP1. That being said, it can trick up any players who know how to evade it well. I'm not too concerned about the degeneration there. As I said, I am playing the stun immune, so I was letting her hit into my block. But I've got such a great matchup. I've got deep wounds on. I see the bleeds being applied. She's already at 50% health. So we're going to throw this SP2 and build the Fury and just let deep wounds and the bleeds do the work. I'm completely having her on her side of the map. We haven't even had to stun her once yet. I know her mechanics for a lot of reasons. I used to take the Spider-Verse lane in AQ, and so I got to learn these evades really well. And it just felt great. It felt great. Like I said, the last real war where I was able to really concentrate, I did have a stumbling block that can happen to all of us. And I got the opportunity to stay in there, take it again, get some advice, really get support from my BG and my BG leaders and the Alliance as a whole. So positive momentum was built. Then I had that family emergency, and the BG just acted like, don't even sweat it. We got you covered. Just get your fights done in AQ. And they went out and won a war with only 9 people and had just a great performance. And then I had another war where I felt really good about it. Took a lot of tough fights. Unfortunately, I died on the boss fight, and the fights just didn't record for me to show. So I'm pumped up to be back. I feel like I'm back on the right track, and I'm focusing on the right things. And the right things are just take each fight at a time, have a great time with it, learn, and be part of this great group. We came up on the right side of this one, beating Got-eem. It was pretty close war here. And I think we're now second in Masters, which is amazing. I've come in third, I think like 4 times now. I've never come in top 3, so I'd love to be a contributor for that. MVPs, Legacy, Karate Mike, and Chelize. I hope you've heard of all 3 of them. Excellent players, each with their own YouTube channel where they show all kinds of things. I know for a fact they all show Alliance War videos, and I love to watch them and learn so much from them. I'm pumped up. I'm excited. Thank you so much for watching. I feel like we're moving in the right direction. And by the time you've seen this, we've probably already picked the winners for the I Love You 3000 giveaway. But if you go to that video, I'll link it in the description. If somehow I have not picked the winner, now you can go and I'll pin the comment announcing the winner. So if you see that pinned comment, that means I've already done the drawing. But if I haven't, enter. Still a chance. We'll be giving away 3 Odins, 1 to each of the 3 winners, to help get those Black Friday deals, which, if history is any indication, they are going to be excellent. Thank you so much for watching. I'm excited for the second half of the season. I feel great things coming, and I feel like I'm in the right place. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow on Twitter at VegaGaming583. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.